I'm so glad you're here. In this video, we'll differentiate pathological jealousy and adaptive jealousy in romantic relationships. I also want to give a little warning that I'm going to share a couple of wild stories about things jealous people did, and they're not appropriate for children to hear. Jealousy is an absolutely agonizing feeling, even if it is adaptive. So it's important to know how to deal with feelings of jealousy and how to recognize when your jealousy has a basis in reality and is therefore potentially protective to your relationship versus when it's veering toward being pathological. In 2015, 32-year-old Fan Lung used his wife's cell phone to send his secret lover a risque email. He forgot to log out of his account. His wife Feng discovered this email and the whole thread that led to it. Overcome with jealousy, she went into the bedroom while Fan was sleeping and cut off his penis. He was rushed to the hospital, where the surgeons sewed it back on. But the jealous rage had not subsided for Feng, and she went into the hospital room and cut his penis off again. Despite bleeding profusely, Fan chased his wife out of the hospital and began hitting her in the streets. This image was taken as that was happening. It was only after he was restrained that authorities and doctors discovered that she had cut off his penis again. And this time she had thrown it out the window. It was never found. Jealousy is defined as a complex emotion that ranges from feelings of inadequacy and fear of abandonment to rage and humiliation. Pathological jealousy is characterized by a preoccupation with the thought that your partner is being unfaithful, accompanied by frequent, intense bouts of jealous emotional states and abnormal behaviors fueled by these thoughts and feelings, all without having any real proof of your partner being unfaithful. Pathological jealousy has an obsessive, tormenting quality and leads to a wide range of behaviors. A large percentage of domestic violence incidents stem from jealousy. People vandalize property, stalk or spy on their partners, and a disturbing number of suicides seem to be associated with jealousy. In Feng's case, she did have proof that her husband was cheating, but her response was vicious and completely pathological. The idea of adaptive jealousy has been articulated by the well-known psychologist David Buss in his book, The Dangerous Passion: Why Jealousy is as Necessary as Love and Sex. The term adaptive is defined in evolutionary psychology as an evolved solution to a recurrent problem of survival or reproduction. Adaptive jealousy is a non-pathological form of jealousy and is, as David Buss wrote, not a sign of immaturity, but rather a supremely important passion that helped our ancestors and most likely continues to help us today to cope with a host of real reproductive threats. I think this highlights the first thing to understand about the psychology of jealousy. It is based in passion. The same passion that fuels sexual desire and arousal fuels jealousy. In relationships where there is no passion, there is no jealousy. Buss argued that jealousy co-evolved with the evolution of love as a relationship protector, and that the total absence of jealousy can be a sign of emotional bankruptcy in romantic relationships. The adaptive value of non-pathological jealousy is that it guards the loving relationship. Buss points out that jealousy is not always a reaction to infidelity that has already been discovered. It can be an anticipatory response, a preemptive strike to head off an infidelity that might be lurking on the horizon. Another quote from his book is, "Jealousy is emotional wisdom passed down to us by our ancestors." So in the same way that anger, fear, disgust, sadness, and other uncomfortable emotions have their rightful place in our lives, jealousy has its place. And jealousy, like any of these other unpleasant but important emotions, can become disproportionate to the situation. The difference between adaptive and pathological jealousy is a difference not in kind, but degree, meaning they're not really distinct categories. There is a smooth continuum between totally founded jealousy that helps you respond appropriately to a relationship threat and totally pathological jealousy that fuels dramatically abnormal behavior. We need to be able to regulate jealousy when it's moving toward the pathological side of the continuum, both because acting on extreme, baseless jealousy never ends well.
Police say a local man put a tracker underneath his ex-girlfriend's car. Police say he then followed her around and then shot and killed her new boyfriend.
And it's just a downright torturous feeling.
Lambert sent her hundreds of threatening texts saying things like, "I'm destroyed because of you. If I can't have you, no one can."
And regulating jealousy starts with understanding where it's coming from. People very often claim that jealousy is about fear of loss, but I think this is incomplete. Jealousy is about the fear of loss by way of being replaced by someone your partner prefers. It's a sense of loss and inadequacy that jealousy stirs up. This is what accounts for the terrible sting of jealousy. Not only are you feeling that your relationship is threatened, but that your worthiness of being your partner's chosen one is being threatened. And this cuts deep. Relationships succeed when both partners feel irreplaceable. If you are feeling excessive jealousy, if it's getting pathological, the question to ask is there anything my partner can do to help me feel more secure in the relationship? And if so, communicate this. Be sure you're on the same page about the boundaries of the relationship, and make sure your partner knows that psychologists definitely do not consider jealousy to be a sign of crazy insecurity. But above all, the most reliable way to keep jealousy in check, to make sure that it only functions as it is meant to, is to know your worth. You are irreplaceable, and you deserve someone who feels that way about you, someone who loves you so much that they want to be with you wholeheartedly. Not all relationships are meant to last. And if you've been broken up with in the past, don't carry that into future relationships. Know that it was just a compatibility thing. So take care of yourself so that the best of you shines forth. Invest time and energy into personal growth so that your confidence rises. Show up in your relationship authentically so that your partner can know the real you. And befriend jealousy, but keep it adaptive.
If you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe.